Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10X, time to level up. Hey, you are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast, coming to you from the Big Dog Construction Studio in beautiful downtown Springfield. Robert Farrell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, hey, you are listening to the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield, where we're going to bring you specific strategies to help elevate your health and wellness. Hey, if you're not elevating your health and wellness, you're not going to be able to elevate in all other areas. This is the baseline. You know I'm passionate about it, and you know that's why I brought this segment to Elevate Springfield. We want to thank our friends over at Shudokan Karate Club here in Springfield. Sensei Dennis and his team, over 50 years in the Springfield area. Traditional karate, teaching self-discipline, confidence, community. Traditional, powerful, real. That's Shudokan Karate Club here in Springfield. Check them out. ShudokanKarateSpringfield.com. We're going to get right to our guest after the break.
When I first walked into Shudokan Karate Club, I was just looking for a way to get stronger, but what I found was so much more. Here we train in traditional karate, the real stuff, passed down through generations. Every punch, every kata has purpose. I've learned self-discipline, confidence, and how to protect myself. Not just in class, but in real life. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. This is more than a club, it's a way of life. Join us at Shudokan, traditional, powerful, real. Ki!
And we are back for another edition of the Wellness Upgrade. Hey, for today's episode, we're going to join our friends over at the Designing and Building Mid-Illinois podcast. They did an episode this week with Health Starts at Home, and I wanted y'all to catch it today. So let's get right to Chris and Caitlin from the Designing and Building Mid-Illinois. One home at a time. Health starts at home.
Hey, welcome back to Designing and Building Mid-Illinois, one home at a time, the podcast where we'll talk practical remodeling tips, construction insights, and do-it-yourself projects that make your home work better for you, along with whatever is top of mind for us today. Hey, I'm your host, Chris, with Caitlin.
Board Jeannie.
And today we're talking about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention in construction. It's your health and wellness inside your home. Because let me tell you this right now, a home isn't just about how it looks. It's about how it feels and how it functions. And most importantly, how it impacts your health every single day.
Right.
Very important, Caitlin. Very important. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you've been with us from the beginning, we appreciate you and thank you very much for staying with us on this journey as we help Mid-Illinois homeowners design smarter, build better, and make confident decisions about their homes. Plus, give our followers some entertaining conversations to listen to. And as we continue to expand our Mid-Illinois with our podcast and beyond. Right?
I love it.
All right. Awesome. Hey, you know what? We're going to pay some bills real quick. We're going to talk about our 10X partner. That's Elite Roofing Professionals, Blake Middleton and his team over there in Litchfield and Springfield. They do have an office in Springfield as well. They are covering Mid-Illinois just like we are with our podcast. And they do travel beyond. And as we know that spring is here, right? Spring is here, which spring brings storms, spring brings wind, and it brings tongue-tied poems like I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, but hey, they are working their asses off over there at Elite Professional. Their sales team, knowledgeable sales team is out there to take care of your needs. And when it comes to protecting your home or fixing your home, trust the experts at Elite Professionals. They are serving Mid-Illinois with their top-tier roofing, guttering, and siding services. They're ensuring your home stays safe and sound. From durable roofing solutions to efficient and affordable gutter guards, their skilled team brings quality and reliability to every project they touch. Choose Elite Roofing Professionals and experience excellence from the top down, and call them today for your free home estimate at eliteroofingprofessionals.com. Find them out there, and they'll take care of your needs.
I mean, the guttering's very important right now. All
It
those
is.
leaves getting in.
Leaves,
spring
rain,
clean.
spring cleaning, all that good
Mm-hmm.
patookie stuff that comes out there, right?
Elite Roofing here for all your guttering needs. I don't know why I like that
I
word,
don't know why you're in
guttering.
roofing, needing roof and all that
Siding,
poo-poo
roofing,
stuff.
guttering.
It's all good. It's all good.
Elite.
Yep. So we're going to talk about the health and wellness of your home. It's very key. Very key. And last week, we were just talking about health and wellness of yourself with Crystal Vivalli.
Of your skin, your
with Willow
biggest
Lane
organ.
Spa. Yep. As you learned that from Crystal last week.
I did.
Right? Exactly. So, hey, your home is your foundation. So think about it. You spend more time in your home than anywhere else, sleeping, eating, recovering. Well, let's back that up. Sometimes I feel like I spend more time at work than I do at home. But anyway, we're sleeping there, eating there, recovering, spending time with family. So if your home isn't built or maintained with wellness in mind, it works against you.
It really
for you.
does.
Yep. And it's very crucial that we make that happen, right? To keep that where it needs to be. And it isn't just talk, it's real stuff. And we're going to dive into that real stuff, like poor air quality, bad lighting, moisture and mold. Dude, ick, right?
I also want to talk about like smells, cleaning supply, like certain things.
Right. Yes.
I mean, there's been times where I have used, too much vinegar. You would just die at this story.
I want to hear it.
I used vinegar in my ceramic tub while I let it sit
yep.
overnight. Guess what it did? I mean, it's completely.
What did it do?
It's like rough. It had to have taken off, I guess.
The porcelain of the
Yeah.
What's your tub? What?
It was
material?
an old one. This was
Cast
when
iron?
it first came in. I mean, it was white. It looks like a built-in.
Most. Sorry.
But you're right.
It's a white tub. Well, they don't tell me what material that tub is. It's just a white tub.
But the health and wellness of your home, cleaning supplies are an important.
are.
You need to. I mean, certain ones can strip, ruin
And
floors, furnitures, laminate.
And guess what? That goes to our number one thing we talked about: poor air quality. Because those chemicals will get into your cleaning solutions, into the air of your home, right? And if you don't have a proper
The
ventilation
plastic.
system, it stays in your home. It absorbs into your home. And then you're breathing it repeatedly,
So
right?
does that go? So obviously you can buy air purifiers.
Yes.
You got to make sure you're changing our filters in our furnace and our air
you need
conditioner.
you need to do that regularly. I
Right.
have it in my calendar, a reminder to check my filters every month
Every month.
at our office and at home.
Because don't you think certain places are going to get dirtier faster?
Well, they
Like maybe
are.
on a farm.
Yeah.
Your house probably out
Yeah.
there in the.
True, but here's the thing too. As the weather gets warmer, this past weekend, windows were open everywhere.
That was going to be my
right?
next.
Windows are open everywhere.
Yes.
And so all the dust that had accumulated in the window sills
Mhm.
between the screen and
Right.
your window are all winter long. And now you open the window and guess what? Now it's in your home. That dust is in your home. Landing on things, being in the
Right.
air, circulating through your furnace system, right? Because sometimes I'm guilty of it. Temperature's nice outside. Come in, open the windows. Boom. Guess
I
what?
love
You forget
opening
to
my
turn-
windows.
But you forget to turn the furnace off, right? The heating, and it kicks on because the air temp came down, which feels great. And now you're sucking all that through and you're just,
Chris,
yeah.
I want to tell you something.
Please do.
I am sick right now that I have just learned this.
I thought you meant physically sick. I'm
Okay,
like,
so
what?
here's what I have always done. Here's what I've always done.
The
When it
secret's
is
coming out.
Window open
Season.
whether it's, fall, spring.
Right.
I will always only turn the fan on my like air conditioner. Like I don't
Right.
have the heat or cool on. So what I'm doing is pushing dust and dirt and
Yes.
stuff all over my home.
You are.
Guys, he's helped me. I'll never do it again.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I understand. but we will make it better for you. I promise we'll make it better for you. Just remember the key simple things that we do talk about here at our podcast, right?
They're here to help.
And all those things we talked about, the poor air quality, bad lighting, moisture and mold and temperature inconsistencies. We didn't talk about that, but temperature inconsistencies in your home, right? You go from one home that's cold to hot, back and forth, right?
Right.
Yeah. So all of these things can affect your sleep, your energy, your mood. You don't get moody, do you?
Never. Do I, my
Please.
Chris?
I'm gonna call Chris right now.
You might not after this weekend.
Yo,
Oh,
Chris. So, or they can also affect your long-term health.
I 100% agree with that, the long-term thing.
So if you have mold in your home, because some people don't realize this, so everyone thinks mold is bad. Well, look, mold is a necessity. If we didn't have mold, we wouldn't have decay and things would not decompose, right? You have to have that. There's only 3 to 5 known deadly mold spores out there in the world. Right? Even if you're not allergic to mold, you inhale these, boom, it's going to
I mean, it's what
cause serious stuff.
penicillin is derived from,
It's
right?
a mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Penicillin is a mold.
Yeah.
And yet you take it when you have an infection, right?
Right.
Hello.
Yeah.
So here's the thing on that. So if you have mold in your home and you are susceptible to that, causing you breathing issues or sinus issues, headaches, right? So that can cause long-term effects on you. You just never know. Or if you have a home that is an older home that may have asbestos in it and you disturb it, that asbestos is a very small, can't see the fibers, and you get that in your lungs over long-term health. Guess what happens? Mesothelioma. There's all kinds of things that can happen from that.
And what happens with both this mold and asbestos, like you said, a lot of the symptoms don't show up till years later, like you said,
Exactly.
long term. Now, my sister had mold that they discovered only in one room of her house, but it was in between the walls, Chris. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. That makes sense.
they had it checked, and here's the reason why. Their girls just respiratory infection, after respiratory. So, and I can't remember if it was Kimmy's idea or my mom's, but they're like, you need to have your home checked for, sure enough. But that's why it's important. I mean,
It is.
especially if you just buy a home that maybe somebody else lived in.
True. You need to have it checked out. And home inspectors aren't no negativity to home inspectors, but they're not out there checking on that stuff. If it's behind the walls, they're not checking it.
That goes back to our episode a couple times ago.
Right.
The contractors diagnosing your home as a doctor.
First 60 seconds, what's 10 things we see in your home, right? Yeah. No, exactly. And as we're talking about the health and wellness of your home, that leads me back to our guest we had last week, Christopher Volley with Willow Lane Spa. And that's where Willow Lane Spa comes in. They offer the facials, the hydrofacials, the airbrush tanning, the head spa, salon services, and more. And with their Willow 365 membership and private events they host, they provide that daily dose of rejuvenation, just like a healthy home does.
Just like a healthy home does.
So when you've built that wellness-focused space in your home, treat yourself to some self-care at Willow Lane and back and forth, right? So that you are a healthy home, healthy body, mind, and soul.
And she had even told us how important it was for her spa itself,
right?
The physical spa, to look relaxing,
correct,
and rejuvenating,
right?
Same thing for your home.
Exactly. So you can get a hold of Willow Lane Spa at willowlanespa.com, or you can give them a call at 217-275-2263, and they would love to help you. Or you can email them at hello@willowlanespa.com.
That's so cute.
Actually, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
hello@willowlanespa.com.
It's adorable. And of course, their socials are awesome too.
Yeah, that they are. Hey, well, that kind of leads us, we were talking about air quality and mold spores and stuff like that. Air quality, it's like a silent game changer because, again, you can't see it, right? It's one of the biggest ones, and it was the number one on the first thing we talked about, poor air quality. So most homeowners don't even think about their air they're breathing.
No.
But they should, right?
Yeah.
Inside your home, you've got dust, pet dander, chemicals from cleaners. We just talked about that, right? Off-gassing from materials. Do you know what that is?
That's the gas. I do. The gases that
Hit me.
plastics and stuff emit into the air. That is what our ozone, it's getting
thinner and thinner.
Yeah, see?
See? Caitlin's on it because she watched a documentary this weekend. No, she knew that anyway.
I
But no,
love you.
but a lot of people
The
don't
way
know.
you took a sip of that.
Yeah. Hey, so yeah, sipping from the plastic cup. But no, the off gassing from materials like engineered wood, like particle board, MDF, plywood, right? Memory foam mattresses,
So upset.
carpets, paints, aerosol sprays, and the cleaning supplies. They will off gas, right? Like that vinegar you put in the tub and left overnight. It was off gassing the stuff it was eating from the tub into your air quality that you can't see.
I mean,
Now you're like freaking like, oh my God.
really, you think, I mean, man.
Yeah.
You can't escape it.
No, you can't. And
But you can help things.
You can.
Yeah.
But here's the truth. If your home isn't sealed properly or ventilated right, that stuff just sits there.
Mm.
Okay.
The ventilation is serious, isn't it?
It is. So here's some things that you can do. Like you mentioned, upgrade your heating and cooling filters, right? Consider a whole home air purification system.
Mhm.
You can put those onto your HVAC systems. So
Okay.
it is purifying that air as it's going back out into your home. Some have UV lights that are killing things as the air is passing through the UV lights. It's killing it. It's also going through filters.
I like that. I like that.
More like HEPA type filters. HEPA
Yeah,
filters
yeah.
are like 99.9% catching all the dust that goes back out into the air.
Right.
Right. And then make sure your home is properly sealed. So here's the thing on that. This has been a long debated topic on how tight should you have your home from outside air getting in. So places like Tyvek and Kimberly-Clark, those are other companies that do house wraps.
Mhm.
Like a new home's built, you see them putting this white house wrap or
Yeah,
other
yeah.
colors of house wrap.
Yeah.
That is actually a one-way barrier on the home. People don't realize that.
I just thought it was like wrapping
So what it does,
or something.
it allows the home to breathe out, but moisture and air can't get in.
Okay. I mean, thank you.
So it
Yeah.
allows the home to breathe out through that house wrap, that barrier,
Right.
but air can't get in and moisture can't get in through it.
Wow.
So that's that type of thing.
Very
But
interesting.
it is. So that's one of the things that literally, as homes get built tighter, windows, as we talk about, get more energy efficient and they're tighter and you're not losing air from them. That some experts actually say that once a day you should open your window for like 3 to 5 minutes.
So that it doesn't get stale air.
Air transfer. Yep.
Right.
It's changing of the air. It truly is. Right. And so that's that.
Even if it's cold. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
You just got to let that air
Right.
transfer. So
that does make sense.
in your newer homes, you have a cold air return in every room of the house, right? So you could shut a bedroom door, open a window, and let that air transfer in there because it will draw through the cold air return and help circulate the air in the home. But your older homes usually only have one cold air return in the middle of the house, so you really couldn't do that.
Yeah,
So
I mean, that's a helpful tip.
yeah, it's just keep that in mind. So even if you don't have a tight home, that is something that you can do because if your home is leaking air out, that means that air is coming in.
Right.
That means those dust particles are coming in. That means if you're out in a farming area, which we're in rural mid Illinois,
We all are.
right? When they're spraying the fields, when they're putting chemicals on the
This-
field, that
right,
stuff is in
exactly.
the air.
It
Again,
is.
You
Sometimes you can't help it. You bring it in on your clothes.
sure.
But that's why
Yeah.
it's even more important
Yeah.
for the air filters or making
The
sure.
the key thing is my home. So our kitchen faces the east and full windows on the east. So when that sun coming up in the morning and you can see the sunbeams coming through,
Oh.
that's when you can see like dust particles in the air.
Oh, I know what you mean.
The dog comes in and shakes.
Yes.
The pet dander.
Everywhere.
Like
yeah.
you're like, ick,
Yes.
ooh, what are we doing here?
You're
right?
100% in those
Yeah.
sunbeams is when you can
Yeah,
see it.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
And that's about the only time you can see your air in your home. And I'm air
Right.
quoting for those not watching, right?
I'm glad you made a visual representation for
Yeah,
us.
and so that's the
Appreciate
thing.
that.
You can't see your air, but there are particles in it, and that's why having that upgrading your filters and the whole home air purification systems, making sure your home is sealed properly. Check attic insulation and airflow.
Mhm.
So that's key too. So if you don't have a properly vented attic, you will actually have a superheated, even in the winter, your roof will take the heat and absorb it in. and your air temperature in your attic will be actually hotter than the house temperature down below. And so what happens is you have thermodynamics, air exchanging through thermodynamics. That's why we have storms. Cold air drops, hot air rises. And when you have a cold front coming in, merging with hot air, that's what, same thing in your home. You have storms in your home every day. You just don't know it. And that's the thermodynamic changes. See, Caitlin, she's like, oh my God, this makes sense, right?
And it's like in
It's
a
common
plane
sense.
too, like
Yeah.
cabin pressure. Okay, this is all.
Have you ever gone on a trip, on a vacation for like a week? No one's been in your home. And when you get home, you're like, it's just kind of the air's been locked in there all week, right?
I know,
Furnace
but
has
I'm
been running.
like,
It's
every
like-
time I come
it's
home,
just
my
like-
house smells so good.
It's stagnant. Oh, because it doesn't smell like kids running around?
That's what I'm like. I'm like, oh my gosh, why can't it smell like this all the time? That's the only time it smells good.
Because you're not dirty,
'Cause
stank
no one's
feet,
there.
sweaty, all that stuff.
But
Yeah.
no, I know what you mean because
Maybe it's just my house.
no, but when you go into like that you haven't been, but maybe it's just I'm excited. to
Or
be
even
home.
like a hotel room
a hotel
that you can
room.
tell that it has not had anyone in it for a while. You ever been there and
Right.
you're like, ooh, it's kind of musty.
No, the stagnant
stank
yes.
smell.
Yeah,
Because
no.
the air's not moving in there. and
My
it's
shed
closed
is
off.
like that, and it's insulated, but probably not properly.
And you want to make sure that, to help your air qualities, you want to make sure you use the bath fans and kitchen ventilations correctly. Your range hoods and your fart fans, as we call them, right? Yeah. And people call them fart fans. All right, another educational point for you coming from the construction trade industry. We call them fart fans in the trade, right?
Love it.
People think they turn them on to take the fart smells out. No, actually, the bath fans are actually designed to take the
Moisture out in the shower when you're in the shower.
Correct. Just take
Right.
humidity out. That's what it's designed for. But
I'm dead about the fart
stank,
smells. Yeah.
stank sticks to moisture. Take a fart in there with a hot shower and
Right
suck
on
it right
up.
out, right? But
The
you
sound
got to have the
effect and
fart.
everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got to have
Oh,
the
no,
fart
I
fan
know.
on. So we call them fart fans, but they're actually moisture fans. So
Well, I use the fart fan. I mean, all the
well,
time.
a lot of people turn them on when they go into the bathroom so that it covers up the farts. You hear the fan going and not the.
Well,
So,
maybe they
anyway,
need to
be a little quieter on the toots.
or put like the sink on.
Yeah, to run the water.
You get that moisture. The farts can
Yes, let it go
connect
out.
to the.
So, but all of these things we just talked about, this is where construction meets wellness.
Right.
Wellness of your home, which then ultimately helps the wellness of your health.
Of you, your family.
Exactly. Your family. And even into kind of, we talked about the lighting and your body clock. It's people overlook the lighting. Lighting is just about seeing. It's about how your body functions. Your body runs on something called a circadian rhythm. Yep. Right. And that's your internal clock. And guess what
Wellness.
controls it? Light. Light controls that. It's kind of like a reset, right? So if your home has poor natural light or harsh artificial lighting, like
Right.
fluorescent bulbs, which should
And
be
we've talked
out
about
now.
this
before.
before.
Lighting. It just
It's too harsh and aggressive. Natural light should be the first thing that you see in the morning.
it should. Good morning, sunshine.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about the wife or
No,
husband.
you're talking about Johnny. You just did Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka.
Good morning, sunshine.
Very good.
Shakes. I just went into Jim
He's-
Carrey, The
yeah.
Mask.
Gonna win it.
Let me show you something. Oh wait, no, that's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. No,
No. That was the mask.
that was The Mask.
Yeah.
Let me show you something. No,
He-
it wasn't. That was Fireman Bill from In Living Color. When Jim Carrey was on there, Fireman Ed.
Okay, I
Let
haven't
me
seen
show
that.
you
in-
something.
When I promise you,
Let's say
one time.
you're on fire and you have to roll around and you're carrying a handful of thumbtacks.
Do
Oh,
you
no.
think that Jim
You come up
Carrey?
looking like Hellraiser? What?
Do you think he's a clone? That was really good.
Jim Carrey is a
Yeah.
clone?
Did you not read all
No. Oh my gosh.
that? When we get, you need to look
Okay,
it up.
I
They
need to look
think
it
he
up.
came to the Oscars. He looks totally different, but yet still the same people think he's been cloned.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now he's a sheep. He's a sheeple. Okay.
I'd be
So,
devastated. Okay,
back
let's go
to
back.
the lighting.
We're
All
going
right. Back to the lighting, your body
Yes.
clock and all that. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, folks. We're going to
Yeah.
bring this back on
Yeah,
track
mhm,
here.
mhm.
Talking about that, not Jim Carrey being a
Natural
clone.
lighting, important. Don't,
Correct. Right. And not the inconsistent lighting setups. Right.
Right.
It can actually affect your sleep quality, your focus, and like we talked about, your mood, being moody. Right.
Right.
Simple upgrades is add more natural light where possible, which if you can, you can. And I get it. A lot of people are using the blackout blinds now. I'm guilty of this. I have blackout blinds and I never open them. Shame on me, right? I have rooms in my house,
Christopher.
my game room. My blackout blinds, they close all the time.
Well,
I
you're
need the
like my
gaming
son.
experience.
And I'm like, I go in there to every kid's room in the morning.
Focus.
They want to punch me in the face. I say, good morning. And I raise the blinds.
Little frickin' Mary Poppins coming in.
Because I know they have to go to school and I don't.
But you still have a JOB that you have to argue in. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, darn.
Yeah, it happens. But hey, upgrade your outdated fixtures. Get rid of the fluorescent bulbs, that harsh lighting. Use warm lighting in the evenings. Your soft,
The dimmer.
your soft yellow lights, not your bright lights like we have on you now to illuminate your face.
Well,
and
and
your
also when I feel like when you're
effervescence.
working, like you have to be able to see really well.
Yes.
Or else
Yes.
you're straining your eyes. That's another
Well,
thing with
it is.
lighting. If you're at work
And age.
at home, you
Yeah.
need to be able to
Right.
have a clear sight.
Well, also using brighter, cooler lighting in workspaces. So having proper illumination where you're trying to work, again, your eyes aren't straining because you can see what you're doing. You're not
Right.
squinting. You're not
Mhm.
trying to open your eyes to get more light in so you can see. Deer in a headlight.
Your face.
So, yeah, for those not watching and listening, I just did a deer in a headlight pose for Caitlin. Anyway, we've seen firsthand on lighting changes, change the feel of a home
Yeah,
instantly, right?
instant.
Just putting a new fixture up or changing the bulb to a soft white versus a daylight brightness. But, from the lighting segment and making the home feel instantly better, moving into the moisture, mold, and airflow. See how airflow is kind of a common thread through today's theme? Because we all breathe it in. We need the air.
And I also feel like airflow is so important because I know we already said it, but things will get ruined. Like
Right.
furniture, your dresser.
For God's sakes, your dresser's
I know. I mean, we talk about I have this dresser from my grandparents. They got it for a wedding gift. Okay. So you can imagine how old
Did
that
they
wood
bring
is.
it over on the Mayflower?
Maybe that, or who knows? Maybe they were already here. Actually, I think they were already here because my grandma had Native
Sorry, Grandma
American.
Borghini's. Was it the Grandma Borghini's?
No,
The other
Grandma
side.
Dunn.
All right,
Yeah.
Grandma Dunn. Sorry, Grandma
Yeah.
Dunn.
So,
R.I.P.
but that's what I'm saying. Like the airflow.
Well, it's a big one, right?
Yeah, I
it's something
don't
we-
want things to
We
smell
run
bad.
into all the time in the field is moisture control. Where's the moisture? There's potential for mold where there's moisture.
Bathrooms.
And mold is
Kitchen.
not just a cosmetic issue. It's a health issue. It's through here, right? We're talking about respiratory problems, allergies, long-term exposure risk. Again, it happens, right? Common problem areas are your bathrooms without proper ventilation, without your fart fans going, taking it out. Attics with poor airflow. And that's why we didn't continue that conversation about if your attic doesn't have the proper ventilation. Ridge vent is your best ventilation on that because it's the peak of the roof, and your roof is like a chimney. It draws air in through the eaves and it goes out through the peak of the house.
So if it's too tight,
As in you don't have ventilation,
right?
that heat sits up there and bakes, which shortens the life of your shingles. It can actually bake the wood.
Well, that's
up
what
there
I
as
was
well.
just going to be like.
And it
Wouldn't
become-
it like
and it-
start like a?
It can become brittle. Brittle. I said that. Brittle. Now my English. That's very brittle of you.
I do. I think I might have some of that problem over
That you're
part of
brittle?
No, but
Poor ventilation.
for my attic. Like,
Yeah.
See, I learned so much about this because we do have a fart fan, but I know that it doesn't work correctly. Something is not.
It may not
Ventilated.
be ventilated out of there.
I don't think
It may just be
is,
going to
Chris.
the attic, which means you're putting that moisture up there. So here we had a client. We had a client call us after they had an issue, and no, it wasn't an elite professional that did the roof, but a fly-by-night company came in. The client was desperate to have the roof done, had it done, and they removed the chimney below the roof line because they're like, oh, the homeowner's like, yeah, we're not using the chimney. They removed the chimney below the roof line. They didn't cap it, do anything like that. That chimney had their water heater venting through that. Their gas water heater was venting through that chimney, and their whole attic was filled with the carbon monoxide. And gas burns moist, and all that moisture, their attic was filled with mold and mildew. Filled.
How did they discover it? Like, what was going on
their kids were getting sick. Literally, their kids were getting sick on the second floor.
But the carbon monoxide, I mean, that is really upsetting.
And so we had to come in and we immediately capped the chimney with a flue pipe up through the roof so that the water heater was
Even
bending
I
properly.
would know.
Yeah.
To cap
But
a
again,
chimney.
the homeowners didn't.
No,
Like,
they didn't know.
We didn't know.
But they
No,
probably
it's a
trusted
chimney. We
that
don't have a
he
fireplace.
that
Exactly.
he would do it correctly. That's what I'm saying. It's
Exactly.
just sad.
Yeah. And all the homeowner was thinking is like, oh yeah, that chimney's a pain. It's leaked over the years. Yeah,
Right,
let's get rid of it. Yeah,
right.
take it below the roof line. Which for the roofing company that was there, which fly by night guys, well, it's easier for them to knock down and just fill it in, right? They don't have to flash around it. So and they charged the client more because they took the chimney out, right?
Call
And-
Sheriff Ryan Dixon.
But see, he's not sheriff yet. But then they
Sheriff
didn't.
elect.
But they didn't. He's not sheriff elect either. He's a Republican nominee for the sheriff. Just let's get this straight. I just want to make sure that we're not putting false advertising
You're
out
right.
there,
You're
false
right.
stuff out there.
Okay,
all right?
you're right.
Come on.
You're right. You're right.
All
You're
right.
right. You're
All
right.
right. So,
You're
but
very good.
anyway, but that company, you can't get, you can't call them back because you don't have to get a hold of them, right? And no
Well,
one's
when they're
getting,
those one, yeah, like
and
that.
no one's getting their certificate of insurance to be able to call the insurance company. Hey, you need to come pay for my home to get fixed, right?
I mean,
so-
that could have ended up really bad, Chris.
Really bad. So with that, ventilating of that attic is very key because if you have that superheated air up there, it does make your living area work harder for that. So insulation to create the barrier between the attic and the living space, and then your proper ventilation up there. So that is where it is key.
So if you're actively seeing mold on your
Yes.
ceiling, guys, it's
Yes.
probably time that you would need to
Yeah.
call somebody.
Well, so that's the key. I'm glad you brought that up because there are homes that they'll have mildew starting to show on the corners of their ceiling
Yeah,
and
yeah,
wall,
yeah.
which is at the exterior of their house, which is a key to say that there's not enough insulation in that attic because the inside temperature is condensating at that drywall level at the ceiling from the cold air that's coming into their attic. And so as the heat rises, hits that drywall and gets cold on the other side, it condensates. And when it's condensating, mold needs food, drywall is food, and then it mildews. So that's a sign that like, hey, that's not properly insulated. We need to look into that, right?
Okay.
And then you can clean up mold. A lot of people don't understand this. It's real simple to be able to clean mold. Real simple. Mold needs 3 things.
Bleach.
Mold needs 3 things to live. It needs lack of light, so dark areas. Needs a food source, wood, drywall, paper products. That's food, right? And then it needs moisture, right? Any flow of moisture. It could be humidity. It could be a leak, anything like that. If you eliminate any one of those 3 things, mold can't grow. Mold spores are everywhere.
But what
to
if
clean it, here's the really easiest thing. To clean it, it literally is a 10-to-1 ratio. 10 parts water, 1 part bleach. That's it, right? So you can do 10 ounces of water, 1 ounce of bleach. That's all the solution you need. People come in there like, oh, I'm just going to put 100% bleach in there. One, you're going to kill your nostrils. You're going to hurt your lungs by doing that. You're going to burn your eyes if you get it on you.
ruin your
Clothes, your hands, whatever, right?
Yeah.
10-to-1 ratio. Wipe the area, clean it up, maybe multiple times if it's really, really heavily caked with that. And you eliminate one of those 3 items, your mold will not come back. Okay? So that's very key on that. People think, oh, we got to have our home eradicated and all this stuff. And, all this.
I mean, I think that's kind of a normal thing that you would have to take care of. Maintenance.
Yes.
Just like
The
you put
wellness of your
kills
home.
on your ceiling.
Yeah, which you learned about
Yeah.
putting kills up there to stop the stains from coming through.
Right. So see, you learned so much.
Yep. I know. So the moisture and mold and stopping that poor airflow around your windows and doors even, right?
Mm-hmm,
Give us a call here. We'll take care of that for you.
Yeah.
So here's what you as the homeowner should do, right? Make sure your bath fans are vented properly, meaning they're vented out to the outdoor space and not just blowing into the attic.
That's exactly what mine's doing, Chris.
Yep. So it's blowing right into the attic. That means you're pumping all that hot, moist air into the attic. Even in the summer, you're taking showers. You got the
Right.
fart fan on. You're throwing the moisture up in the attic with the hot heat of the summer. It's just baking up there.
Ew. It is probably full of. Oh,
Mm-mm.
I've got to call him.
Chris, get up in the attic and take a look at that. And I mean Chris Trader, not this Chris.
No, I was going to. It's you. It's
no.
both Chris's.
Hey, check for condensation on your windows. We talked about this in previous episodes, right?
Right.
If you have high condensation levels, moisture levels on your windows, that means you have a high humidity level in your home and you have poor quality windows, creating that condensation issue. And that condensation then is adding more moisture into the home.
So what do you think about like dehumidifiers in the basement? Do you feel like that's a
Important.
Band-Aid or important to have?
No, it's important to have it. Don't put a dehumidifier in the basement if you have a leak.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But do you think
because
a lot
that's
of like
putting a Band-Aid on it.
primitive basements, I guess you would say, like mine's just kind of like it's not
Because you
redone.
got a partial and partial.
Right.
Yeah. You have
Do you
raw
think
dirt,
that's
I
like
think.
normal to have that down there? Or?
So dehumidifier in a basement is good because, again, moisture rises, right?
Yeah.
That means if it's in the basement, the moisture will work its way up into the first floor, second floor, how many floors you have.
Yeah.
So if you can stop the moisture level at the basement level, yes, it's a good thing
And that
to
always
have.
helps air quality.
Correct.
Okay.
So just like here at our studios, we're in the lower level of the Big Dog showroom. We have a dehumidifier. Brr, Dr. Pepper.
Did you
Caitlin's
what's the
burping.
Dr. Pepper?
Yeah. Brr. That was Caitlin burping, by the way. Anyway, we do have a dehumidifier that is set up to, and we've got it set, I think, at like 40% humidity level.
I think that's what mine is too.
So in the winter, it doesn't run at all. And I did notice when we got our first spike of warmer temperatures, I heard it kick on.
Oh, yours is
It's auto. Yeah,
yours
it's
is
auto.
on auto.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's drained right into it's a drain line, so I don't have to touch it. Boom, let it go.
Right.
So because if not, what happens is in the
That's nice.
most lower levels, there's not as much natural light, which means you're going to have the lack of light.
Yeah.
There's tons of food source, which is your drywalls, your flooring, your rugs, your pool tables, your whatever's in the lower level, right? And
Things you store.
yeah. So I will share this. It's, I don't know, kind of scary, a little embarrassing, but when we were going through the remodeling process here at the showroom, again, we're in a 2,500 square foot home that was completely gutted and remodeled. Right? We did all the first floor stuff before we came to the lower level. The lower level did have, it was all paneling down here. You probably remember.
Oh,
Maybe
I
you did.
do.
Yeah.
I do.
All paneling, right?
I mean, yeah.
And so it got really hot and humid, in the summer, blah, blah, blah. I came down to check for something and it was just white mildew everywhere. The paneling was mildewed spots everywhere. I'm like, yeah.
That is so bad.
It was
and
quick.
look at
Boom.
it now. And that's another thing I want to say. Like you walk in here, there's never like
Funk.
there's never any like smell. It smells fresh. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's
like
the smell of success.
And it is. And down
Yeah.
here you can tell. I just
Right.
you are right when you
Yeah.
can tell. And if somebody has too much humidity in their house,
Right.
it is you can cut it with a knife.
And the insulation, right? They say you can wear the air.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no insulation in between the paneling and the block wall. And so what you have is you have a supercell of condensing point there, condensation point of hot and cold. So now
Shocked.
this whole lower level has been spray foamed
Right.
behind the drywall. So we are locked in almost like a cooler.
Locked and loaded, man.
Locked and loaded.
Big dog style.
Bang. That's right. That last thing is invest in proper insulation. And this is where doing it right the first time or fixing it correctly matters for that wellness of your home. And that kind of leads us into the temperature and comfort equals wellness.
So true.
So, all right, let me ask you something.
Oh, I
Okay.
can't wait.
Yep.
It's a thermostat.
Have you ever been in a house where one room is freezing and another one's hot?
Yes.
Is your home that way now?
So there's 2 rooms and it's weird. They're like, I have this long hallway, Cal's room here and then my room. They're either always warmer or colder, depending on
Right.
type of the season. But I discovered this, Chris, and this is proof to all you guys. I have no insulation in my closet that faces outside
And a mildewed?
in the corners.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Even on my carpet, my boots, my cowgirl boots.
Oh, Shang. No way.
Okay. So
Cowgirl
this was
boots.
several years ago, but still, I just make sure I really watch that now and I don't put anything in those corners of that. But that,
She
I
had
never just realized that the mold would come from lack of insulation. You know what I'm saying?
We just educated
Yeah.
Caitlin Borgini Trader today.
It's all just
And you know
working.
what? And it's all, I guess it just seems like common sense to me because I'm in the trades.
Right.
And I have been my whole life, right?
Right. Well, this is like
Age of 2, I
your-
was on a roof in diapers. Yeah, I understand.
I I like that we're learning about this, but no, I know.
So with that one room freezing, the one room hot, you're constantly adjusting that thermostat, right?
Always.
And it's just not just uncomfortable. That's stress on your body and on your home, right?
And your
Well-being, your
pocketbook.
psyche. Yeah, your pocketbook, right?
Yeah.
A well-designed home should have consistent temperatures throughout the
Right.
home. Proper insulation, energy-efficient windows, balanced airflow.
Ventilation, yeah.
So where the upgrades could be in your home, an existing home, would be the new windows, better insulation, and HVAC improvements. I would highly recommend, if you're getting the new HVAC system, you need to get a constant airflow system. And they call them a 2-stage. What that means is your air handler is constantly moving air in the home.
See, I like that. I think that's why I would always keep my fan on, because that's what I was trying to think
and
was
now
happening.
you don't have to, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't have to, because
It
that's
does that.
when people put it on auto. The auto means that the fan will come on automatically as the temperature is needed, right?
Right.
And so a 2-stage or a constant airflow system, it's constantly moving air through the home slowly. And when the thermostat calls for cool or heat, it then ramps up the airflow to push that temperature change through the home. And that means the air is already moving. It's not stagnant in that corner or that corner, or a room stagnant.
And I like
the air is
that.
constantly moving. And that helps on air quality as well,
Mhm.
right? Coming back to that point.
Boy, that's nice. I want that now.
And you save money. People are like, well, I don't want my fan running all the time. But actually, you're saving money, because here's why.
I know.
Say
I
it,
believe
say it,
this.
say it.
It's because then it doesn't. It's like starting your car. If you're
I mean, the auto start that they have on cars now, or the auto stop. Yeah.
or like if you're turning your wheel and you're like ignition starting,
Mhm.
that's taking up more energy than if you're just coasting.
Yep.
Right. So that's
Yep.
how I think of it as. So
You're
then
spot
your
on.
fan has to start up every time and work hard to get back down to this. But if it keeps it slow this whole time, it's the turtle. It's the tortoise.
That's right.
So
Tortoise in the hair.
aren't you proud of me?
I am.
You know what? My first marriage. Okay, I tried to say this so many times.
She's head bobbing here.
I am.
Man, if you're not seeing it, she is head bobbing, hair flying.
And I mean, all through my
Holy
face,
crap.
because I had said this, because I swear to you, Amarin sometimes will give you little things of like helpful tips
right,
to
to
save,
save energy.
like
right.
in your mail or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And it had said this. Of course, I didn't save it. So then
Yes.
when I'm telling this to the first,
That guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Never would believe me, never believe me. Now we have Chris Hartsook officially saying it. We're going to
Well,
record this sentence in the mail.
that's
I was
right.
right. You were wrong.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Swing. Yeah. But the other thing it does too is your furnace doesn't have to work as hard. Not just the air moving,
Yeah.
is because you're keeping
To
a more
warm it up.
constant air temperature throughout the home.
Uh-huh.
So your furnace will not have to produce heat or cold as long, because the air is
Already
there.
has it.
Right. As opposed to when it shuts off, no air moving, and then the temperature drops
Uh-huh.
throughout the whole home, right? And especially around the thermostat, which then triggers going,
Yes,
oh, we're getting
yes,
cold.
yes.
So now the whole home has to now get heated way back up.
Uh-huh.
That's why they say radiant systems are the best, like the old radiator boiler systems, which are still out there,
Oh.
because a radiator is radiating out heat, and it is bringing the temperature of everything up. The furniture and everything else is radiating and absorbing that, versus changing the air temperature, which an air handler system does. We could do a whole episode on that, and we may bring in some HVAC experts and have conversations like that. So
I love that
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's temperature is very important.
It is. Because temperature and comfort equal wellness.
Exactly.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
And guys, you want to sleep at a little bit cooler temperature. That's good for your
Yep.
wellness. You're welcome.
All right. So here we're going to kind of wind this up a little bit then. So small changes equal big impacts, right?
Right.
So here's the good news. You don't have to gut your house to improve your health, right? Health of you and or your home. Start small, upgrade your air filters. We've said it several times in this podcast episode, right? Add a dehumidifier if needed, which if you have a basement area, I would highly recommend doing a dehumidifier. But just make sure that you either empty the container if you don't have it set up for an auto drain, or just keep an eye on it, right? Improve lighting in key areas. Inexpensive way to make that happen.
Expensive.
Seal drafts around windows and doors. Even if you're not buying new windows and doors at the time, seal up the drafts that you have around there. Call us. We'll come out and do a wellness check of your home. We'll give you an update.
I love
Say,
the wellness check
yeah.
of the home.
yeah, Dr. Chris. We'll
Oh
come
my
take a look at
God.
your house.
And look, you
right?
kind of have your doctor jacket on. Oh my God.
Yes, and my ink pen. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Oh, those pens.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
my
do it.
pen.
Keep your HVAC system well maintained,
Mhm.
right?
Very important.
Have it serviced or check the air filters. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm telling myself or not. I was embarrassed, like really bad. I work all the time.
Yeah.
Furnace system at home wasn't working properly. I'm like, what the heck? Gosh dang it. It's not working right.
Just one more thing.
I scheduled, hey guys, come out, check the system. It's just not working right. They sent me a picture. I didn't change my air filter for quite some time, my furnace filter. And it was so clogged. Yes, we have indoor pets. It was so clogged that it was starving the system for air. And it actually had sucked it in to the duct area towards the blower. It was so bad. I was so embarrassed. So that's why it's now in my calendar to check it and change it all the time.
Chris, don't even feel bad.
How
Same
embarrassing is
thing
that?
happened
Oh my
to me.
gosh.
And I was like, oh my God. So then, because that was kind of right when I had,
Yes,
kind of been on my own.
yes.
And then after, I guess Donnie didn't think about it, but the
It was
air
full of
conditioning
KDB
guy-
hair, wasn't it?
it was so bad. But I think it's probably happened to everybody
It does.
when you don't think about it. So like you
But
said,
I was in the
set
industry,
an alarm.
and that's what was so. And I had to call the trades guy and say, "Hey, come on, my furnace isn't working right." I was really
Did you laugh?
oh, I was embarrassed. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was embarrassed, embarrassed. And of course, he left it there for me to see when I got home. Yeah,
Love him.
but small steps do lead to those big
Yes.
results over time. That's again, we always talk about that, things you can do to make that happen, right? So, but here's know when to DIY it, do it yourself,
Mhm.
or when to call a pro. So let's bring it back to something we talk about a lot on the show, knowing when and not to do the DIY and pro stuff, right? The DIY friendly.
You can tell it's getting lunchtime.
Is right. DIY friendly things, items on that list is change the filters. You can do it.
You can change the filters.
If you don't, have your service tech come out, have him show you how to do it. Say, hey, I want to be self-sufficient and do this myself. Self-efficient, sufficient? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it don't matter. You may
Sufficient.
have to call him for a partial service call or whatever. But once you do that, you'll know it from there on.
You
right?
can change your own light bulbs.
Yeah, change your own light bulb. Sealing the small air leaks around like we talked about, whether it's a can of spray foam or a tube of sealant. Use your little flicking flame
Oh, I was like,
on a windy day. Where's the flames coming in?
yeah.
We got some airflow coming in that sink. So basic maintenance. But you want to call the professional when you suspect mold or see mold.
Right. Or anything
Okay.
I feel like involved with the attic,
Yes.
especially after the stories you've shared this time.
Yeah.
Like, I think that should
Yeah.
really be, I think people don't think the attic is that integral to the health of your
It's just
home.
an attic. I don't have anything up there. Just
Right.
let it go. Yeah, but it is
It
part of your
is.
home, right? So if you have major airflow issues, contact a professional.
Professional.
Right? If you're upgrading insulation, same thing. So here's what a lot of people will segue just a little bit on this, or sidetrack. The people think, well, my home's built. I got drywall inside. I got siding on the outside. I can't upgrade the insulation of my walls. You can. We literally can come in if your home has vinyl siding. We've removed vinyl siding before, drilled holes in your outside of your wall into each stud cavity, and we can fill those with blown insulation.
Thank you
We can do that, and then put the siding. We plug
for
the holes.
saying that.
We plug the holes. We put the
Siding right back on. Boy, that spray insulation's really become.
Well, the spray foam, yeah, that can be done too. A little bit more. You have to be a little bit more careful of that because if the outlets inside your home, the electrical boxes aren't sealed, you will fill them full of foam. Yeah, and you'll know it real
Yeah.
quick. We actually years and years ago, we had a insulation company come in. We had a older home, and they were drilling and doing the blown cellulose in all the cavities.
Mhm.
And one cavity, they just kept pumping and pumping and pumping. And we're like, we don't know what we're filling, but something's filling up. And we went in the home, and it was actually a pocket door cavity. And the pocket door cavity was now filled up to where the door wouldn't close, and it was blowing out into the home, and it was a mess. So preparation by the professional working with the homeowner to make sure there isn't anything like that in there that could get filled up inadvertently.
Communication goes all back to all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, wow,
Yep.
that's a mess.
Yes. So also another one thing to call a pro is replacing your windows and or your HVAC systems.
Absolutely.
Right. And again, those HVAC systems, check out what's out there now to get that constant airflow, right? Because doing it wrong can cost you more and impact your health. So that's when you want to call a pro.
This is not worth it.
No, it's not. So, but hey, with all this, if you're interested in learning more about ways to make your home more comfortable, updated, and safer, feel free to reach out to us at Big Dog Construction here, your local Window Depot, USA, at 217-970-7340, and talk to our knowledgeable team members who can set a time, check the wellness of your home, and offer up some
Wellness check.
viable some solutions. Yeah, you know what? Every year you should have a wellness check.
I think that's
recommend it for your body.
Exactly.
Willow Lane Spa.
Right.
Check out, get your rejuvenated, right?
Yeah.
But hey,
speaking of,
at the end of the day, your home should be your place to recharge, right? Should be your place to feel safe, should be a place to feel your best. And if your home isn't supporting your health, it's time to start making changes, because building better homes means building better lives, because every house has a story, and sometimes those little details are at the beginning of the next great project. And so, thanks for tuning in today. And if you're ready to improve the health and wellness inside your home, reach out to us, drop us a DM, or call us at 217-970-7340. Let's remodel something beautiful together, one home at a time. And until next time, remember, your home doesn't need perfection. It needs a plan. If you're unsure where to start, talking to a trusted local professional can save you time, money, and stress. So thanks for listening to Design and Building Mid-Illinois, one home at a time. And if this episode helped you, be sure to share it with a friend. And remember, good homes aren't built overnight. Stay safe, stay prepared, and keep building a better, stronger home for your family. We'll see you next time.
bye.
Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert, serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hope you're enjoying these quick hits of actionable strategies here on the Wellness Upgrade on Elevat Springfield. Thank you again to Shudokan Karate Club. Hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great. Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.